I want to talk to you about how to become truly AI fluent. It's so important right now in the industry for you to learn how to become not just a user of AI, but someone who's able to differentiate yourself from the millions of people who are playing with it like a toy. There's 4 simple steps. You can go from AI curious to AI fluent. And it's a process that'll take you just probably a couple, 3 months, maybe 4 months to become pretty AI fluent, more than most of the people that you know. So it's 4 simple steps. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and let's talk about becoming AI fluent. All right, here's number 1. Start utilizing more than one AI as a research tool. Download 4 main ones: ChatGPT from OpenAI, Claude by Anthropic, Microsoft Copilot by Microsoft, and Grok from X. Those are the 4 main ones, and you're going to want to download them on your desktop and download them on your phone as well. That way you always have access to them to help start getting you used to how to use these different models, because all of them are actually very different and they all have pluses and minuses, strengths and weaknesses. And then start utilizing those as a research tool. That's number 1, is utilize those as a research tool. So instead of typing things into Bing or Google or whatever search engine you use, actually start typing that information into all 4 of these models. Type the same exact thing. Let's say that you wanted to go on a vacation to the United Kingdom. Or if you're in the United Kingdom, maybe come to America, right? Regardless, pick a destination, say, help me plan a vacation. You are a world-class advisor for people that want to take vacations. You're a travel agent. You know current flights are and hotels, and I want you to advise me on what is the best possible vacation I could take on this type of budget. You're not done with the prompt yet. So keep developing this prompt as a conversation and say, here's some of the things that I'm interested in doing. I would like this kind of food, these kind of places I want to avoid, things that I might want to do, but I'm not quite sure. And then from there, go ahead and hit enter in the prompt. And then take that and copy it into all 4 models and start to recognize the difference that each one of those offers you. Great. Now start having a conversation back and forth. This is great, but what about this? I have grandma that's going to go with me, and and go back and forth with these AI models, and it will start to open your eyes on what is actually possible. What about airfares? What about hotels? What about rental cars? What about, places to avoid that are too crowded during this time of year? Should I rethink anything? And then kind of put each of those into those models and see what responses you get. So that's number 1. Instead of searching all of this into a search engine that's going to give you a bunch of static web page results, you get to do this in a conversation with an LLM that's going to provide you a bunch of different real-time information and provide you deep insights. The other thing you want to do is say, I want you to think deeply about this. I want you to do actual research rather than just answering me, right? You want to be very specific about what you wanted to do, how you wanted to act, what kind of results you're expecting. And you're going to see ChatGPT is going to come back and probably give you lots of information. It's going to be good. It's going to help you kind of refine your thought process about it. It's going to be very praising of you, telling you that you're a genius about thinking about going on this adventure to the United Kingdom, right? Because that's the way ChatGPT models are currently built. They're trying to kind of, get rid of the over affirmation type of parts of the model, but it's still there. And Claude is going to help you kind of, think through things and be like, well, this might not be the best time to go, but if this is when you can go, right? And it's going to kind of help you think through things. Okay, so that's number one is research. All four models, whether it's in desktop or on your phone, you can use the same prompt and have back and forth conversations just so you can start to learn what the differences are with the main parts of the models. Great. Number one, research. Number two, start to think about the things you do in your normal life and the things that you do in work. And then before you go to do that task, go ask these models how you should think about this and how you could become AI first rather than AI never or AI last. And say, okay, here's a task that I do every week. It is a communication to XYZ, and it has this type of thing. Here's an attachment. And again, if you're internal to an enterprise, make sure you're using an internal tool. You want to be careful not to take internal documentation and dump it into a public facing LLM like ChatGPT or Anthropic. If you are part of the Microsoft 365 suite, you can use this in Copilot. There's newer versions of Copilot Cowork that have Anthropic, which is Claude, integrated into it. There's all kinds of things you can do internally, and it's actually those tools are more powerful internal because it has more dots to connect, transcriptions, and all kinds of things. But we'll go into that another time. So have it think through how you can reverse engineer that process and ask it to be critical. Tell it, okay, I really want to do AI first, not for the sake of just doing AI, but because I want to think how I can become not just fluent, but someone that reverse engineers my job to almost long term work yourself out of the manual part of your job. You want to become more and more elevated. This is a great opportunity to show people that you're able to take what used to be manual and painful processes and reverse engineer them into repeatable processes and hopefully future automations. So that is something that you'll be able to get to if you have those same type of conversations that you had with research in reverse engineering. Process reengineering is going to be a huge thing over the next few years. People are underplaying how big of a change management process AI is actually going to be. And you can do it, but you need yourself and your employees, if you're a leader, to start thinking about how can they pull apart their process with AI and use it as a thinking partner to be able to reverse engineer those processes. So that's number two. Number one, research. Number two, process reengineering, right? And those are both very powerful. But then number three is build. The most important thing that you can do is start to build. Because once you start to build and connect the dots, you're able to see what the art of the possible is. And so this works really well in Copilot Cowork. It also works really well in Claude for external type projects, and it works pretty good in OpenAI. Grok, from my standpoint, has less automation and codifying, but it's definitely something you can also utilize. So start to think about what you can build as a prototype. Maybe it is a portfolio. Maybe it's a personal website that contains your portfolio. And this is actually how I built Become AI Fluent. Is I had an idea. I started in Claude. I said, I want to become more AI fluent. Here's what I know. Here's what I've done. Here's a bunch of documents that I've done externally, right? Because I'm, again, in an external version, so I didn't take internal information and put it in there. And then started to just have a conversation of what could I build? What could we build together that would allow me to learn, but also highlight what I'm learning so others can become AI fluent. And Claude identified that's a pretty great name. Is the domain available? When inject and Become AI Fluent was available, and off to the races we went. I started to have conversations over a weekend in my spare time throughout the week, in the evenings, just talking to Claude about what I could build. and I landed on Become AI Fluent, which was going to be a web page, which is content, but then also a web app that has API tie-ins to my Substack. And then from there, other web app things that I'll be launching over the next couple of months as I continue to create these videos to help people like you and me become more AI fluent. Because that's the goal, is not to try to be defensive and fearful and that our jobs are all going to go away. And I know there's a real tension there between become AI fluent and the fear of working ourselves out of a job if we actually do reverse engineer our entire jobs to utilize AI. But I think there's a good working model here, with on-prem to cloud, which was a lot of those technologies completely revolutionized the tech industry. And all it did was create more jobs. And so for those people that become AI fluent, I believe not only does the research show that your job opportunities will increase, actually the value of those roles will increase. There's a 39% bump in pay right now for AI roles. And that's not untypical for bleeding edge type of technology. So becoming AI fluent is not only good for the industry, it's good for you personally. So start to build. So what I did was, like, I was honest with Claude and said, hey, I've never even had a GitHub. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. Can you help me build it? And can you also coach me through the process of everything I have to think about to be able to build this into part of Leader Unlock to help other people become AI fluent? And so then what did I start to do? I started to show it who Leader Unlock was. So I put a bunch of my articles. I talked about my business. I exported information from ChatGPT that I'd been working with well over a year and imported it into Claude. I started to have more and more robust conversations with Claude to figure out what could I actually build. And because if you've never seen Become AI Fluent, it still has a lot of ways to go, but it's beautiful because I told Claude I wanted it to be a full bleed, beautiful imagery. I wanted it to be cinematic, right? And went back and forth in this conversation, multiple iterations. And it said, okay, and then it walked me through, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to create yourself a GitHub. This is how you do it. You need to, create a Vercel account. This is how you do it. You've already registered your domain at this web provider. Great. Now all you have to do is go move your DNS, point your DNS to this new Vercel web app that you launched. Great. This is how you do it. That's the beauty of AI. It's never been easier to become fluent because it can walk you through actually how to do these things. And once you do that, it becomes like muscle memory. So build and dream and think about what you can do. And when you do that, you're going to run into places where it doesn't give you the output that you want. And so you'll have to think of how can you show it wasn't right. And so what you can do is take a screenshot of it or push the image feature on your phone and post that back in and be like, this isn't quite right. This is what's wrong. Do you see that? And because it has, computer vision, it'll be able to discern that even better and get you closer and closer and closer to the deliverable you want. Those three things in and of themselves are so powerful. If you can just learn to do research, if you do process reengineering of your current job or even in your personal life, how you do your taxes, all these different things, think about that you do that are very manual for you to do, right? Build, right? Build actual things. And then the number 4 thing is actually what you're doing right now. Have a learn it all mentality and have conversations that are either one way, like this on video, where you can hear what's going, what other people are doing or thinking about, which is powerful. Or also start to have conversations with your coworkers. How are you becoming more AI fluent? What have you learned about AI that's powerful? What are things that you wish you would have known 6 months ago about AI? and start asking people those things. And if you don't have those type of people, find those people, reach out to them on YouTube or Substack, or sign up with a coach that can be a thinking partner that can help you become AI fluent. I have 10 coaching clients right now, on top of my normal job. I meet with them on nights and weekends, and almost all of them are at various levels of becoming AI fluent, but all of them need that thinking partner. I have an executive that is trying to manage a bunch of change in the organization, right? And they need someone to be able to help them think through things, see through those walls and around corners, and envision how they can help their employees become more AI fluent, right? So just start to have those conversations. So those are the 4 things. Number 1, what do we talk about? Do your research, right? Use it as a research tool. Number 2, right, from, the basic, how do you do process reengineering? Number 3 is build. And then number 4 is have conversations and have that learn it all mentality to be able to become truly AI fluent. I don't know about you, but I'm actually excited about the things I'm learning and the things that I'm building. I have so many different projects that I actually did this exercise where I put all of those into a single chat and said, okay, help me prioritize what these things are, which is why I'm here creating a video with you in a late afternoon after work, is because this is one of the things I feel most passionate about, is helping others become AI fluent. All right. So I think you can do it. I know I did. I'm in my middle 50s. And yes, I've been in tech for 30 years. So all the dots are connecting very quickly as I become AI fluent. But just utilizing it and rethinking and re-engineering and having conversations is going to help you become a force to reckon with in this new emerging technology of AI. All right, you ready to go? Let's go.